morning to you too, sir.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, USA. Considering that it is morning on the West Coast right now. I was dodging out there, sorry.
But it's always morning somewhere.
But that's very true.
Important question. Who is Velvetblue?
That is the one and only. Go ahead and introduce yourself again. You were on episode earlier, but
who, me?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. My name is Lawrence, aka the Velvetblue, and previously known as a nightly pony.
Well, there you go, sir.
Surprise!
Oh.
Okay. So we have this segment. Also, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Radio Rothingham, the least professional podcast on the entire internet. There we go. So we have one really important question that we ask ourselves every week on the podcast. It's a very important question. And the question is, here it comes. How about them? Is there any news on the NX?
Yes, is the NX announced yet?
No, there's no.
Do we know it? Yes.
No,
yes, of course it's nothing. Nothing, no announcement until this Thursday. Yesterday they unveiled it.
Yep.
And
how?
And they turned a switch.
Yep, they're basically just gonna. Nintendo's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to leave the console industry, and we're now going to exclusively focus our efforts on making the best network switches. So that's what they're gonna release. It's the Nintendo Switch. It's gonna be a.
Wait, it's a network switch. I thought it was a light switch. God damn it, Nintendo! Stop being so confusing.
They really don't learn from their mistakes. Like.
Yeah.
First they make this thing that's like a Wii accessory, and now they're making network switches, but now people are confused whether it's a network switch or a light switch or an electric circuit switch, or if it's just a plain console switch.
And switching between, switching it on or switching between. No.
Nintendo, come on, Nintendo, be more specific. I'm getting really sick of this shit. Like, here I am drawing one of your beloved characters that you invented like 10 years ago, but yeah, I no, Nintendo, they still suck at it. Their marketing campaign was a complete fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, I mean, if Nintendo was clever, they would release like a 3-minute teaser or trailer for the console, exactly explaining what it's doing with all the products, and then it would have like, I don't know, 11 million views 24 hours after it was posted.
They didn't.
Nintendo wouldn't.
No, I disagree.
That would be ridiculous.
So what do you guys, being lovers of Nintendo, think of what they've revealed, though?
Who's going first?
Well, you know what? I'll go first because I'm the host of the show, and I think that I'm still cautiously optimistic, because from what I gather from the video, it does seem like a very unique and an interesting concept, and they definitely, from marketing point of view, they really got their shit together. Like, they really went out there and said, "This is it. This is what it does. There's no way you're going to goddamn confuse this with the Wii U." Like, they completely dropped the Wii brand. And it's a very precise and concise, and this is what it's gonna do. Period.
Yes.
However,
looking at that and what they said it's going to do you think any of that is good?
That's the thing. I don't know yet. I really have to. Well, what I can tell from judging from the video is that the handheld portion of the console is at least powerful enough to play freaking Wii U games. So
It supports Unreal Engine 4, you know.
That sure is a glowing recommendation. It can sure play games from the most underpowered console of the last generation.
At least, so I reckon it would actually be able to do more than that. But
one kind of hilarious thing, I don't know if you heard, but they used video from Skyrim Legendary Edition to demonstrate the NX in their video. And then when they asked Bethesda, were they actually releasing Skyrim Legendary Edition on the Switch, they said nothing. They haven't actually declared any games yet.
That is indeed true, but hey, I mean, when they use, for example, games like Zelda and Skyrim and stuff, also it reflects with the people or the audience that plays the NX in the video. I mean, what we don't see grandmas and grandpas and little kids anymore. I mean, we see people like us. We see young adults having fun with their Nintendo Switch. So maybe it is indeed still a secret that, or maybe it's not really revealed that there is effectively a Skyrim coming for the Switch, but they definitely are targeting an older audience. So it's also a little bit when it comes to the marketing. I mean, Nintendo has matured when it comes to bringing their shit to people.
Here's my immediate
apparently they realize finally that their audience grows up. And if I had to define the Nintendo Switch in one word, it would be surprising. Because it's a real surprise. Actually, not really, because the rumors they all turned out to be true. But what's really surprising is that in terms of Nintendo consoles, it's not underpowered. It's portable, and it supports Unreal Engine 4, which is also the reason why there's a washing list of third parties. I mean, finally, there's like a big list of people that really want to make games for this console. So what pleasantly surprised me is that for the first time in a long time, after the Wii U term, there's finally, at launch, there's going to be games. There's going to be a lot of good games. I mean, I've heard Bethesda from you guys. We also have Square Enix on board. We've got Bandai Namco, Activision, EA, Ubisoft.
What makes you think that it's going to be anywhere near as powerful as they're claiming? Because it's a tablet. It's a really small tablet.
Well, I have read on the Twitter account of NVIDIA that NVIDIA has tweeted that they indeed are supporting the Nintendo NX, or Nintendo Switch as we can finally call it now. They're supporting it, and they say there is a custom-made NVIDIA Tegra X1 processor inside. We have also learned from the Twitter account of the guys behind Unreal that Unreal 4 is the engine that supports the Nintendo Switch and the other way around. So if this thing can support Unreal 4, then it must be powerful. I mean, it's not going to be as graphically powerful as, let's say, for example, a PS4K or the Xbox 4 Scorpio, but it doesn't offer those graphics, and it doesn't offer that raw power, but still, it has an HD screen. The graphics look really slick on it.
Look,
and it offers a different experience.
My Surface
you
can
take your
do
games
all...
on the go. That is really, really cool.
Okay, my Surface can do all those things you just listed, but it does them pretty badly.
Exactly. It's not user-friendly, and that is the difference between that and the Nintendo Switch. I mean, it's really user-friendly. I mean, you put it in the dock, it goes automatically in the stream mode, in the TV mode. You take it out, and it automatically switches between the console mode and the portable mode. So it's plug and play, really easy. Anybody can do it.
Okay, how is... What? I'm not sure how the Surface isn't user-friendly and the NX is.
It has Windows 10 installed. It's already bad enough.
But that wasn't even what I was referring to when I said the Surface can't really do those things well. It can't because it doesn't have enough power.
Because the games that are gonna be released on the Switch are gonna be optimized for the Switch. That's why they're gonna run well. But the thing is, of course, I'm not as hyped as Velvet is, because I think I'm still skeptical. Of course, they revealed a new Mario, two either ports or sequels of two very popular games on the Wii U. But still, Nintendo announced that they are not gonna talk about games this year yet.
They're not going to talk about the games, but that's the entire thing that sells a console, is what games are on it.
No, they just wanted to unveil it because, everyone was freaking wanted to see it, and they teased a few games with their screenshots, but of course we will get more details later on. So until then I'm kind of skeptical, and I suppose that's also the reason why Bethesda was kind of holding themselves back, because until then I assume they still want to decide if they want to actually post how it's called, the new Skyrim version, Legendary Edition, or still the normal Skyrim. So I suppose this is, for example, the decision that has yet to fall, but I suppose Skyrim will happen, because as far as I know, on the Wii U Minecraft there is a Skyrim pack already.
Well, I don't think Legendary Edition is going to run on the NX. I mean the Switch.
But it is possible. I mean, I'm very optimistic about this. I mean, the reason that there is a big list of third parties, Bethesda is among them. So maybe it's not announced yet, or maybe it's not official yet, but the chances are that there really is going to be a portable Skyrim, as Bethesda is on the list of developers that is working on Nintendo Switch titles.
I do think it's funny, though, that it came out and it's exactly what the rumor said. It's a hybrid console handheld.
And actually, this is the first time in a long time. This is also a nice topic that you're bringing up, because when the Wii was coming out, everybody was speculating, rumors, and everybody turned out to be wrong. Same story with the Wii U, but now the Switch comes out, and what surprised me, and what surprised a lot of gamers, everybody who was reacting, is that the rumors were indeed true. Oh my god, you guys, it is indeed a hybrid console, and boy, does it look sweet. I mean, it really... The whole vibe, the whole design of the controller, I mean, when you look at it ethically, I mean, this really distances itself further away from those older platforms to appeal to an older audience. I mean, it looks slimmer, and yeah, it looks expensive and nice. It looks hype.
Well, my first impression of what it looks like is it looks too big to be a handheld and too small to be a console. And the controllers look like the most miserably uncomfortable thing I've ever seen in my life.
For you.
Especially when you pull it off the sides and use those the two side bits as two separate controllers for two people. That look... That
looks retarded.
Yeah, I remember the first time I tried to use a Wiimote as like a NES controller, I was like, why would they do this? This is awful. And then they did the same thing with the NX, only it's even smaller. So... What?
Well, I that's also a little bit of an interesting topic that you're bringing up here, because actually one of the first things that I found weird about the NX or the Nintendo Switch is I kind of figured the way that the detachable controllers would work like that, and that little holder thing that there is, like that when you put it in the dock and you have this frame or some kind, and both halves of the controller go in.
Joy-Con.
You can't unsee the puppy ears when you've seen that meme. I mean, it looks extremely unergonomic, and I find it a very, very smart choice of them to also include the Pro Controller. But this can be fixed. I mean, you're stating the name already. These are the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are detachable, so maybe sometime in the future, some other accessory makers or Nintendo themselves can over time, for example, release different models and different colors and different types of Joy-Cons.
Wait, what are you calling them? Joy-Cons?
Yeah, that's the official name of those things.
And after some time, we got the Wii Remote Plus, which is a little add-on that went on the Wii Remote. So maybe after some time we get the Joy-Con Plus or the Joy-Con 2. Actually, all they need to do to make a nice looking and ergonomic type of connection between these two halves is just a simple trapezium shape of some kind. So that way it looks more like a PS4 controller.
I find it kind of funny that you're listing the biggest downsides of the Wii U as an upside for this console. that they might maybe make you buy a better controller in the future.
Well, you have the Pro controller if that's not really if the one that comes with it is not really to your liking. I mean, I think it's a very smart choice that they also have some sort of classic controller that's compatible with it. So they've got that part covered as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Wii U Pro controller actually worked with it, because apparently it's
better
quite
be.
good. Yeah.
If the Switch is compatible with the Pro controller, I'm happy, because it got 3 of those things, and it would be really weird if they were like, no, they don't work.
You say that, but up until the Xbox 360, cross-system compatibility of controllers was just a fever dream of people. Unless you used a PC-based system that just used a standard serial interface. But yeah, until the USB ports appeared on modern consoles, controllers were not things that passed from machine to machine.
But there's the thing. There's nothing stopping Nintendo from having that sort of support, because for one thing, the older controllers that came with the original Wii worked just fine on the Wii U. So you already
good. So that kind of backwards compatibility is grand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For example, if you look very closely to the dock, you can see 2 USB ports. So maybe after some time, Nintendo will release, for example, some kind of port that you can like put in the USB port that you can plug, for example, your GameCube controllers in, or your Wii U Pro controller that you can plug in.
But I think
they can do something with that. And aside that, I think, for example, that since the controllers are modular, I mean, they're removable. So maybe in the future, I think what I think is going to happen is that some games that come out will come with a dedicated attachable controller part specifically for that game.
God.
I mean, the
so it's Wii all over again.
Back to the gimmicks, the horrible
No,
gimmicks.
I actually think the Unreal trailer that they showed yesterday, or posted yesterday, is just to show the concept of the Switch, and just they showed all the stuff that's focused on the Switch itself. I assume they will keep that compatible with their previous peripherals. They just didn't want to cause any confusion to the normal person. So I was like, they will be like, yes, all the controllers work, but they just don't want right now to mention them, even because otherwise people will be like, oh no, it's another Wii or something.
That's a fair point. That's
actually why I think it's really, really, really smart of them to not let this console look similar to the Wii and Wii U, and not carry on the tradition of the Wii U, because they really are moving away from these platforms. It looks different, so that's indeed a plus. Mm-hmm. So that there is no confusion, and that it is abundantly clear that this is not just another.
Well, they learned from their mistakes with the Wii U and how retarded that was.
But also rumors said it has a touchscreen, and I still think it has a touchscreen. They also didn't want to focus on this, because otherwise people would confuse it with the gamepad of the Wii U. I assume they will, like in January, they will be like, okay, this thing got a touchscreen, and games can support the touchscreen.
It's a handheld tablet, of course.
They have a strong history of backwards compatibility. I mean, like, nearly every Nintendo console has some sort of backwards compatibility.
What are you talking about? I cannot put my N64 games into a GameCube.
Well, with a hammer, everything fits.
The exception. The GameCube really was like the GameCube, the N64. I mean, after the GameCube, like nearly every console. I mean, for example, the Game Boy Color could play Game Boy games. The Game Boy Advance could play both those games. The first Nintendo DS could play Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color games.
Yes, we know.
That's some form of backwards compatibility or some connectivity of some kind by the Game Boy Player. Don't know if any one of you remembers that one. It's like this little add-on that made you play those things. The Wii U can play Wii games and so on and so on. So they have this.
I have legitimately always thought
games. That's right.
I've always thought not being able to play your handheld games on your main console was bad, and Nintendo are the only company who ever even tried to address that.
Well, then I'd like to think I mean, if you think about it that way, then you know that, okay, the boundary between the handheld section of the company and the console development section of the game, those two, they don't exist separately anymore. So I'd like to hear your opinion about a future Pokemon game, because that Pokemon game, aside that it's going to be a handheld game as always, you will be able to play this Pokemon game on the big screen. Are you getting excited about this?
Not really. No.
Aw.
Well, I'm not going to buy a Nintendo Switch.
The thing that is actually the thing that I like about the Nintendo Switch is mostly, at least I hope, it will go more into a plug and play, kind of console, instead of like the PS4 and Xbox One are more like PCs, but they mostly get only the disadvantages of the PC. So you get long as patches on the first day and long as installs, like mandatory installs. And I really hope that the Switch will be like, okay, you got this game, you can play it, and no question asked.
Wasn't there some rumor about it taking cartridges? Does it still take cartridges, or just download everything?
Cartridges. I mean, can you even imagine that? I mean, aside the fact that you can like play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild anywhere and everywhere where you want, but the same game, and we know The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the map, it is huge. The same content of that disc is now on that tiny cartridge, so that means that for a game that
I'm not worried about the cartridge. I'm not worried about cartridges, because nowadays 64 gigabyte SD cards are like kind of cheap. I mean, if you are buying it, maybe like if you're looking around for like €12.
Yeah.
What?
Hold on, hold up. So
if you are looking around, of course, for a 64 gigabyte SD card.
Yeah.
Nintendo is not paying.
If a company is buying it, they don't have to pay any taxes and so on, and they're mass buying it, so it's for them. It's like.
Yeah,
like
Nintendo is not going to. Nintendo is not going to be paying consumer rates for SD cards, and they're custom-made cards anyway.
Yeah.
But little scaredy cats.
But the thing is, the storage is big. I wouldn't worry about the storage on the cards, because it's like they even announced a 1 terabyte SD card already, like last month.
Yeah, I saw. So exactly. I mean, how much size indeed goes on one of these cartridges? I'd like to know as well. We probably won't hear about that, or the lineup, or the specs, or anything like that. We won't be hearing this this year. That's going to be for 2017, but. Yeah, I'd like to know. So now that we have this covered, I mean, we have the design covered. A lot of people were not happy with it, apparently. We have the screen covered. We have the games covered, the third parties. That's where a lot of you were worried about. Actually, those are actually the aspects that I'm not worried about. The thing that worries me, and I'd like to hear your guys' your opinion on this. The thing that concerns me most. How long does it last? I mean, you watch the trailer, you see somebody taking his Nintendo Switch on it with an airplane. Guys, how long does this battery last?
22 hours.
That is what I'm worried about.
It's a big tablet with a big screen, so it's not going to be able to dedicate that much space to battery, because it's going to need that for GPU and CPU, hopefully, and RAM. So maybe it can dedicate 20% of the space in it to battery. So it's going to eat that battery, and you'll get 2-3 hours out of it when the battery's new.
Yeah.
That's what I think too.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I have a little a screenshot here. When you look at the screen at the tablet part, there is actually a fan segment of some kind on top. So it means that
there has to be,
because it's powerful, or because it does a lot of tours, that's going to need a lot of cooling and stuff. It's going to be somewhat powerful. I think that's going to drain a lot of power.
It will.
I think that 4 or 5 hours maybe would be.
I'd say you'd be pushing it that kind of time. Although I do remember, I was pleasantly surprised when I first played a PlayStation Portable and found it actually lasted a good 8 hours on one charge, maybe even longer. So I could be wrong. Maybe they've got better batteries these days.
Only time will tell, but that's definitely one of the things that will make or break the console. And judging from the stock battery that comes with the Wii U, yeah, they don't exactly have a good track record of batteries. Like they really put the cheapest goddamn thing in that console.
You're not going to use it as a handheld portable console. It's too big.
Because when I'm playing Zelda and when I'm stuck and when I really have to go to the bathroom, I can take Zelda with me on the bathroom. Woo!
And that's what it's ideal for.
That's not exactly what a handheld portable console is for.
No, that's
well,
true.
Why not?
Also, you can pretty much do that with the Wii U as it is, given that you're in the range of the Wii U, but still. Right now, there's technology where you can play that goddamn game, take it to the toilet.
I can do that right now. I can do that with any PC game I want. I can stream it to my phone or my Surface. I could do what you just described. Trivially.
But not modular in full way.
But let's be honest, your Surface is what, 2,000 quid?
Not that much.
Okay, but it's significantly more expensive than what the Wii U is supposed to.
I also said I could do the same on my phone.
Been out there. That's true. I mean, the idea indeed has been out there. I mean, we also have this Morpheus device from some Chinese company. We have the NVIDIA Shield, stuff like that. I mean, the idea has been lingering, but I mean, the way that they're handling this, the angle that Nintendo is taking on this whole concept, this changes everything, man.
This is different from the NVIDIA Shield or in-home streaming because all the processors are. It does its own processing.
Especially when it comes to the plug-and-play aspect of switching between console and handheld, just in a flinch with this plug-and-play thing. Even grandmas and grandpas or somebody who's not really,
computer savvy,
computery and stuff. I mean, this is for everybody to use, and it's really easy to use.
I'm sure it is easy to use. It's a console, after all. Even the most complicated ones are still straightforward.
Actually, I mean, if we're talking about the future of video gaming over here, actually, I think this idea and this concept, this appeals to me more than all the virtual reality stuff.
That's ridiculous. You take that back right now.
No, I don't. Dare me. I mean, instead of being in your room in some sort of bubble, I mean, get outside, flip out that cute little kickstand that the Nintendo Switch has. I mean, detach the controllers, call one of your friends, tell him to bring his console, and then 2 other friends join, and bam, you're playing like Mario Kart or NBA with 4 players. I mean,
and then you will realize you will need a power strip because it's gonna run out of battery quickly.
Oh god, I can already see it. You're like on the street and you're playing your Zeldas and you run out of power, you just walk around, you're like, hey man, can I have your power, man? Just a little bit, I need my fix.
But now I'm even more confused, because you just described what I've done with my PC for years.
The difference is that, PC is just way more expensive and not as convenient. Usually consoles used to have the selling point of price and convenience. Of course, you gave up graphics power, but for some people, graphics isn't everything. As long as it looks kind of good, and not everything needs to be like have the best looking textures and full sampled anti-aliasing and 4K graphics.
My
and
God!
As long as it looks nice.
But actually, I imagine, and I'm going to go back to the controller thing. I mean, that is actually, when it comes to the design, that is also one of the only things that I like criticize. I mean, I'm super stoked about the Nintendo Switch. I mean, after this whole conversation, that's no longer a secret. But I mean, if they would have just like a little trapezium-shaped part or something, then you can make it like a flat PS4 controller. That works way better than this square with 2 weird thingies on it. I mean, it looks stupid, but I gotta admit, the docking station, hey, props on that. That looks really slick.
Yeah, I don't.
Other controller parts that you dock onto it actually have like in the behind they have like how do you say, like
handholds.
Yeah, handholds, exactly. So it's actually like curved, and it's actually similar to the gamepad. Has some curvature, and I wouldn't call the gamepad very bad, because I could play with it without any issues.
But I bet all you guys $50 that in the near future, I swear to God, Nintendo is going to release some sort of a Joy-Con Plus or a Joy-Con 2.2.
Please
or
stop
whatever.
calling it that.
A better detachable controller set.
I hate that name. That name is so retarded.
It will. And I think there will be, for example, when it has a big library of virtual console games, maybe there's going to be like dedicated old school buttons and stuff for button sets for Super Smash Bros. Or retro thingies with all sorts of fan service things from the past.
But there are already dedicated buttons for Super Smash Bros. We call them GameCube controllers.
I see. Also, when we're talking about buttons, I don't know if any one of you has noticed this, and this is one thing that I really love. When you look at the buttons, they put in one of these references or one of these gimmicks. I don't know what to call it, but it's really nice that they made us remember those. Not the A, B, X, and Y buttons and stuff, but the other pair of buttons. What does this remind you of? And only the real 90s kids among us who had an
N64 controller.
Yeah, the N64, like they're like gray C buttons.
Mm. Well, that's pretty much the point, because they're supposed.
Really cool that they did that. That's a tiny, tiny little detail.
Not just that, but that's not just that, but
a two-player controller.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
Flirting with the people of our generation. That's flirting with 20-somethings who all had the N64 youth. They are definitely targeting an older audience.
But also because you kind of need those buttons to, you know, do the whole use the Joy-Con.
Okay, guys. I'll tell you what. I will not say another bad thing about anything Nintendo ever do if you guys never call the controller a Joy-Con again.
What is called a Joy-Con?
Well, you jinxed it.
Okay, I'm good. I will continue to say terrible things about Nintendo.
Alright.
One fucking job.
Look, okay, they used to be called joypads, and everyone was fine. You had your joystick, your joypad, it was great. And then we moved on to the next generation of consoles, and we just started calling them controllers. And now Nintendo comes out and it's like, why don't we combine the two into the most retarded name yet?
No!
Joy-Con. The Joy controller.
Yeah, it brings joy and it is a controller. I think it's cute. They're also so tiny and nearly don't fit in your hand.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't see.
Retardedly small. That
I don't see. I
like the idea, but the execution is horrible. Then the buttons need to be bigger.
I don't see myself.
The idea behind it, that you can like play multiplayer with only one console. I mean, the idea is cool.
Let Artrix talk. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
What multiplayer on one console? Wow.
That's revolutionary. But yeah, I don't see.
Like it existed before, like all the generations before.
Yeah,
but I
just trying to get words in.
Yes, and I was gonna say I don't see myself playing co-op like that ever, because for one thing, my hands are ginormous and those controls are really tiny. But what I do see working is, for instance, you get two Pro controllers.
Yes.
You go some trip and you're like, okay, I brought my Pro controllers, so we can just use these instead of the shitty little whatever they are, because it just doesn't work. I agree, Astra. I agree.
I'm pretty sure they showed it in the trailer.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they showed this in the trailer too. I'm pretty sure they had played it like this also on the go. Like they still had like the sides attached and just understand, and they used the Pro controllers.
Mm.
This is also maybe a weird reference, but when I look at the square controller, I mean the one with the two separate parts together, like the connection part, the square shape and the wings, or puppy ears as I like to call them, it also quite reminds me of the Dreamcast controller. That was actually also a similar shape. It's actually a little bit Dreamcast-like, in a different way.
Yeah, but speaking of the controller that you actually dock into, with the dock ears, how you call them.
Yeah,
I think the middle part is actually a battery, so that you can play longer with the controller.
That makes all the sense.
That would make sense, but I suspect it's probably just plastic.
Well, the Joy-Cons obviously need some sort of charge because, well, they ought to be used separately.
Well,
So-
they have their own charge already, because they have shown them played like those mini things. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's
that
what
you
I
were
meant.
playing about. I
So
also think like the middle part is just that, that they are just ridiculous.
Oh my god.
It's
Those
actually
tiny
a little
little
bit
controllers.
disappointing that the controller that comes with it is not the one that looks sexiest. I mean, I agree. The controller that comes with it, when they're detached and then reattached to the square Dreamcast-like controller, they're unergonomic. That is the one that comes with it. But the Pro controller, on the other hand, that looks really, really sexy. That is a great-looking controller.
So what you're saying is to get any enjoyment out of the system, you're going to have to buy like 5 extra controllers.
But
No.
isn't it the same with the PC?
If you want to play with 4, then
No,
you
you
have
only
to
need 1.
If you want to play like a multiplayer, like for example Mario Party or something with 4 on one NX, then you buy 3 Pro controllers, and one of your 4 friends is going to be the unlucky one who has to play with the square.
But I was just kind of getting at the notion that the stock one, the one that comes with it, looks like a horrible abomination of a controller. And to get any enjoyment out of the system at all, we need to throw that out in the bin immediately and get
Yeah.
a controller.
I agree.
To be fair, we would need to try it out to be able to tell if it actually sucks.
It sucks.
I had my reservations about the Wii U gamepad when I got it, but once I played with it, I was like, yeah, this is fine. It was actually more comfy than I imagined it to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to see about this one though, especially the square controller, if that's gonna be anything good. But then again, if it's backwards compatible with the Pro controllers, I don't even give a shit because I just whip out my Pro controller and I'm good. So
Maybe
Like-
it's backwards compatible with the Wii as well, with some kind of converter thing that you can plug in the USB port.
I mean, when you put when the Pro cons are connected to the console, it looks alright. Like it's just a really wide controls. It actually looks very similar to the to the Wii U gamepad. Like it's eerily similar.
It's based on the same ergonomic design. They
Exactly.
taught how the Wii U actually works. It's not that uncomfortable. Although still, the Wii U is a bit uncomfortable to use compared to a
Conventional.
PlayStation or an Xbox or even the Wii Pro. It's like, yeah, no, it's heavy and it's awkward.
Just
The
not
Pro
heavy.
control.
The Wii screen.
Those are the gamepad, because the Pro controllers are like they're basically Xbox controllers.
Yeah, I'm talking about the screen of the Wii that you play with, because that
That
this-
one's
this-
pretty big.
and this thing is going to be like that, only bigger and heavier.
We'll see.
So if you want to be like sitting back on your couch playing, having a session for 27 hours in a row, your wrists are gonna start to hurt.
Yeah, but you're not actually gonna use that thing on the couch, because then it's docked into the system. So you're not going to use the complete system for extended periods of time.
I don't know. Isn't that the point of a handheld?
I think so,
Well,
yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
but not when you're at home. That's when you put it in the dock and just
I
play on
don't
the
know.
big
I
screen.
have played my Wii U on the gamepad often enough.
No, because you're sitting in the sitting room, someone else is watching CSI, and you want to play Mario.
And that's where you're fundamentally wrong. Actually, the best way to put that, if we're going to make that comparison, the Nintendo Switch is actually what the Wii U should have been, because it's the exact opposite. The Wii U is a machine that streams the game towards your controller. This works the other way around. This is a controller, or the actual console that streams or converts to the TV, so it goes the other way around, and that way you can take your game like everywhere.
Yeah, I have no idea what point you're trying to make.
The best way to put it actually is that the Nintendo Switch is what the Wii U should have been.
The
Okay,
difference,
put all of
the,
them cool.
the difference is that the Nintendo Switch doesn't stream it anymore. The dock is actually just a
It's
unit
plug and play, playing
forward it to the TV. It's not doing a streaming.
It's
How
not
does
Chromecast.
that? How does
It's
that
not Chromecast,
contradict?
dude.
How does that contradict what I was saying? That you're going to sit on the couch playing games while other people are watching CSI. That was the point I was making. That's a feature, and you said no. How is there in the no?
Oh, you Sackler.
Yep.
But what was I was gonna say something, and I just remembered. Yeah. So the Switch will basically do the same thing as the Wii U in that regard. It's just that now it's you can actually go outside with your goddamn system instead of being tethered to the console that's connected to your TV. So in a way, he's right in that it's the other way around now. The gamepad is the console now, so to speak, with the option to put in the docking station, and supposedly it also makes the system more powerful, either by having some hardware in the docking station, which may be the case, or just lets the hardware run at full speed, which is another option.
It probably just clocks up the processor when it's not on battery power.
Yes, I think I too think that's probably the case, because the hardware in these consoles isn't really that big, and we didn't go say that it's as big as what's in the portable section of the console. Like when you, for instance, may I for a bit? Because if you look at the Wii U, at the actual console, like 60% of that whole thing, if not more, is taken up by the goddamn optical drive. Like you've got the console, and it's basically just one main board, and most of the consoles just the optical drive that's taking up all the space. So I can see that fit in a portable device. It's just a matter of needing to power it and whatnot.
You're missing out on an important feature that most consoles have.
And that is?
And that is?
Big, stinking coolers.
Well, it has a little cooler on the top.
No. As I said, big. The word was big. That's the important part. Because without a big cooler, you cannot clock these processors up to full speed. That's why small machines aren't as powerful, because for the most part microprocessors are tiny. Even the biggest desktop chips are only the size of a postage stamp. It's the fact that you need the cooler.
The custom Tegra X1 is especially for handhelds. It's developed especially for handhelds.
I'm sure it is. It's still not going to go as fast as a desktop chip or a desktop GPU.
It's not, but it might if it's actually docked in the system. Where it can have all the and it might also have. Well, it might actually have the cooling. That's some speculation I've seen, where they're like, the docking station provides with additional cooling and power necessary to make the system full run at its full potential.
Okay.
And unlike, go ahead.
I'm picturing something awesome.
Go ahead.
Could you imagine the docking station was literally just a heat exchange cooler, and it was filled with Freon, and if you touched it in the wrong place, you would get ice burns.
That's awesome.
I could see the system being clocked up to comparable speeds to a PC if they did that.
But yeah, that's not possible.
Of course, it's possible.
Yeah, but not for a consumer product.
But honestly, during the reveal trailer, I cried the whole time. It was so good.
Well, there we go. We've got. It's funny. So in this chat, we have 4 levels of excite. So on one end of the spectrum, we got Knightley, who was completely wowed by this. It's like, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be cool. Then there's. Then there's me, who's like, that looks like a cool system and like the concept, marketing, whatnot. I have some reservations about you know, how it's actually gonna work. But you know, Nintendo
Yep,
GG
and then
looks
came
like.
Panboy.
And then there's Bakphoon, who is more reserved than I am, I guess.
Jesus,
Or maybe it's all the way around. And then there's Panboy, just straight up is like, no,
Well, to be fair, Nintendo could announce the most amazing console ever, being better than the PlayStation 4 Pro and anything, and he would be still like, man, it's not a PC.
Not in terms of graphics, but I agree.
No, back you're wrong. If Nintendo came out and they dropped a brick on the desk that was the size of a printer and said, this is the most powerful console anyone's ever made, it will run Skyrim 4 times.
But
So you
that's
can-
stupid. You can buy a PC instead.
And
This-
if they
this
said
is
that, they're like,
experience.
that looks like a decent console.
decent, just barely enough for.
For that case, in that case, just buy a PC, man. All you
I
need
have
is
a PC.
all you need in your life is a PC and a Nintendo Switch. I mean, like, for real. Come on, get over it.
Well, But that's the thing with a lot of current consoles. They are essentially miniature, just watered down PCs. So you're like, okay, so I got an Xbox. So how is this any? It's better than? Why should I get? Why shouldn't be? No, it's like it plays my games. PC plays games. So what's so special about this? Okay, I can play them on my couch. Nice.
Oh crap.
Yes,
And
I
also-
agree, Astra.
I'm sorry, I'm playing Left 4 Dead and I keep forgetting that I'm on two things.
I'm
Yes.
praying to God if maybe a Fallout 4 port with mods will be possible for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
Then
don't
my-
count on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, just look at the quote mods on the Xbox.
Back,
Final Fantasy 15.
I would buy consoles, but they're too expensive to pay for a single console to play one game on.
Hey, that's also actually a part that we haven't covered yet. The price. Seriously, I mean, for this thing, guys, how much would you buy? I think I would buy it for, $350 or something like that. Not really more or less expensive than the Xbox One and PS4. How much would you pay for this masterpiece?
$2.99.
$2.99. Okay.
If it comes with the if it comes with the docking station and the console,
It will.
and if it supports the Pro controllers and other Wii peripherals, then $250 or $300 would be fine, given that there's games for it. Because
Exactly.
unlike last gen, when it was like, lol, I'll just buy Wii U at launch because I never bought a console at launch before. It was like, lol, I'll just buy one. I'm not gonna do that this year. This year I'm just gonna wait it out, see what they bring to the table, and if there's games on it that I really want, then I might drop the 300 quid.
That
On the
really
system.
is what it always comes down to. If there's games, I would buy a PlayStation 4 for Uncharted if I had the money. I would buy an Xbox 360 an Xbox One for Final Fantasy probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too, man. Final Fantasy 15. Woo!
Maybe because Final Fantasy 13 was a horrible disappointment, and I've only played it for about.
You can get a
Yeah.
PS4 for $2.99 already. Usually
That's-
you get
One and Lightning
games
Returns
for
were
$1.
actually a little...
Sometimes even for $2.50 or even $1.99.
Yeah, but if you're
Maybe
gonna buy a
$199.
PlayStation at this point in time, you're better off just waiting for the PlayStation Pro. Don't
See-
buy the regular PS4.
So that's the thing. I'm not spending €300 on something I'm going to play one game on.
Yeah, that's very important. So if they don't deliver on the games, if it's like, yeah, there's gonna be Mario and Kart and that's it, then I might not even consider getting it, because like you said, I'd be buying console for 1 or 2 games. So they really have to show me, look, if you're buying this system, you're getting games, not just Nintendo games, but like games.
Yeah, but
We
from
wanted-
what, but from what I heard, that's the biggest reason for the delay on E3, because at E3 they didn't have really any games to show, and they wouldn't be ready for Christmas, so they were like, okay, we have to delay it.
Oh,
They have a lot of answers to give.
it's pretty goddamn obvious that they've been keeping quiet for some time because they're ramping up the games for the NX. They really want to wow the.
Well,
They
I was pissed. I was genuinely pissed at them.
Well, they really want to wow the industry, but just releasing a shit ton of games. Like make the Switch a console that has so many games that you can't go around it. Like it's just dropping games left and right. You can't, walk down the street without tripping over some Switch games that all over the place. That's obviously what they're trying to do here.
Well, what they actually need to add to this machine is an external hard drive and just keep everything digital.
Well, it does have. Supposedly, there's even one USB 3.0 port, so it's definitely gonna be compatible with our external drives.
I just realized that would be really impractical for this machine.
That would be because you can't put it on the console itself. It would be connected to the dock, but not the console itself, which will probably have like 32 gigs internally.
So, yeah, it's going to be pretty small storage-wise. That's going to be an issue because obviously, if this whole cartridge thing is a bit of a gimmick, they're going to primarily go by like download games.
It's so old school and nice.
I don't think so because.
No loading times whatsoever, dude. No loading times.
That's the biggest point about it that I actually kind of like about it. But I think they will have, of course, they will support SD cards. From what I heard, it supports SD cards, so you can just jam at the time most likely 128 or 256 gigabyte SD card into it, and it's gonna be way cheaper than a bigger HDD.
Yeah.
That's not true at all. What? A HDD is far cheaper than an SD card for the same kind of storage.
That's true.
Are you?
Well, unless you're using a 64 HDD, then yes, you're wasting a tremendous amount of money on an HDD. But I don't even think you can buy them anymore.
SSD, that's true. SSD, yeah, that's.
Oh, SSD, yeah, solid state drive.
Because if you want to have it portable, you kind of need the SSD because a normal hard drive will just. But it's not really made for.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see if the price of the cartridges actually does push up the price of games. It should. Well, they don't want to sell the games for anymore, but a cartridge is a hell of a lot more expensive than a CD to print. Even if you're only spending €10 on your SD cards, that's still 1,000% more than the 1 cent you spend on a disc.
That's what you as normal person would spend on it.
No,
but a company, it's like.
No, me as a normal person will spend about €30 to €50 on an SD card. I deflated the price already.
Nintendo's, it's still gonna cost them at least £5 on a single cartridge. I mean, it is a custom format and everything, so they probably have the cost-cutting measures in place to make it more,
they're most likely gonna kinda even it out through like the licensing fees, because usually I think like the console manufacturers gets always 30% at any game. It's like with Steam, any storefront, anything. So basically they're gonna kinda add it into this calculation. So it's gonna be kinda.
And the notion that there'll be no loading times is also silly. SD cards are fast, but they're not the kind of instant loading you used to see on ancient games.
No,
because
definitely.
Ancient games, they actually ran the code straight from the cartridge. This system will still have a RAM buffer and load times, and then after RAM there'll be load into graphics RAM. This all takes time, and even
we will see once it's time, because we don't know yet how it will go.
I don't think the advantage shouldn't be sought after in loading times, because I think loading times they might be slightly shorter, but that's not why you want cartridges instead of traditional media.
They're more durable. They're less
Not necessarily, but here's the thing.
SD cards are horribly unreliable.
What we're seeing now with the big games is that you're basically forced to take a game, you buy it, you're like, oh boy, I'm going to play this game. You put in your next gen consoles, like installing, putting the software on the hard drive. It's gonna take a few hours. I don't know. It's gonna take some time.
It's actually even partially to 1.5 days sometimes if you're unlucky.
So and also downloading updates and blah blah. So even though you get the disc, you've got on physical media and everything, it needs to be installed. So that's one of the reasons I'm like, yeah, these modern consoles, they're basically like PCs.
Yeah, it's practically the same experience except you have a joystick.
Oddly, Nintendo always managed to be able to just play the game straight off the disc, but it does install. It still installs stuff on the actual console, especially updates and whatnot.
Yeah, but you can still play every game. You can still play. Be like, okay, I don't want to update, I just want to play. And that works, and that's kind of the thing. It's the difference. You might the Wii was kind of slow compared to the other consoles. That's true, but the games, if you wanted to play it, you could just play it.
What I really want to see from Nintendo, and from any of the big console companies really, is for them to port their old libraries onto a virtual console, just like Nintendo did with a few games.
Yes.
I want to see more of that. That kind of stuff would probably sway me to wanting a console again. If I had access to that kind of library of games.
And you're absolutely correct. That's definitely something that I never liked about consoles, any console, because they really tried, they really milked the shit out of that bullshit.
Oh, they did.
That is a thing that's never been a problem on the PC. Old games you can almost always get even the oldest games to run on a modern PC. It might require some horrible butchery of your system, but you can do it.
Like installing Red Alert 2 on your PC. It's hell.
Yeah, and that's what we're... Yeah, that could actually really help the console market if they just stopped with this fenced off garden shit.
Yeah.
And you release new console and right from the start, bam, there's this giant backlog of games that you could play right now, instead of back then when I bought the Wii U, where I'm like, okay, so what do I have here? The Nintendo Land. Okay, let's play Nintendo Land because it's the only goddamn game I have right now. Well, to be fair, there was also Super Mario's U right there and then, but yeah, it was a very mediocre launch lineup, which the Switch seems to be taken care of.
Okay, well, the Switch, they published a picture that showed a lot of software developer names who have supposedly said that they will be putting games on it, but that doesn't really stand for the quality of the games or for what they're going to put.
Panboy, I have not forgotten about 2012. I did not forget. Because that's exactly the same goddamn thing that happened back then, where Nintendo was like, yeah, we got all these third parties, and they're gonna make awesome games. Look at this video of all these third-party developers being all like, wow, it's such an amazing platform, we're gonna make all the games on it, it's gonna be fucking awesome. And then 20 seconds later, they all basically dropped the Wii U because it was too hard to program for. And supposedly, that's different with the Switch. They're saying that the Switch is very easy to program for and it's very easy to port games to, so development studios don't need to spend that much effort converting their games to...
Yeah, but to be fair, also the gaming landscape kind of changed in the last... since 2012, I would say, because 2012 you had still a PS3 and Xbox 360 around with the most powerful games. And now the PS4 is kind of like not as energy hungry as the PS3, for example. It kind of seems more balanced out, like. more modest than for the PS3 at that time. I think that's kind of the direction that everyone is going. Basically, everyone is gonna eventually gonna meet at some line, or the line's gonna cross. So basically, it's gonna go into that direction because mobile gaming is popular, and yeah, what can we say? It's just.
Well, I think the statistics on mobile gaming are a little misleading. They list the mobile gaming market as being all sorts of things from Farmville to Candy Crush and those kind of non-effort casual games that people play on their lunch break.
Well, I have to say, if it turns out that the screen is indeed a touchscreen, I saw Blizzard flirting with the Nintendo NX earlier. They want to bring Hearthstone to it.
Yeah,
for example, that's one of the perfect games. It's also confirmed that there is, just like the PS Vita, that the Nintendo NX also has a part in it that allows mobile data, so that you have like internet everywhere. So
I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about that.
I hope so.
I can't confirm that.
I don't think it's gonna have 4G on it. At best, it's gonna have Wi-Fi, but no fucking 4G.
Velvet, you kind of inadvertently made a demonstration for me there that you think is good, but I think is terrible. You said that Blizzard, a big game company, might go and release their least interesting, least power-hungry, most ordinary casual game on the system.
Which is great.
It's interesting for you. That's the difference. You always need to think about there are people who actually enjoy this game.
Not just that,
yes, but you guys were going on. Look at all these big developers that put their name on the console. I was like, oh, but what if they just dump a bunch of casual games on it? Like, what if From Software makes a card game based on Dark Souls when everyone was expecting Dark Souls, but no, they get Dark Souls.
It would be quite awesome.
Well,
I just know the true potential of the console, obviously.
We got Xaverius. Hi, dude.
No.
What's up? No?
You're late.
Yes.
Well, it's not my fault you decided to go and start recording while I was sleeping.
Which is like...
Astra now?
Yeah. Okay, it's official now. The Xaverius is Astra now.
Yes.
So, yeah. How does it make you feel?
Well...
Indifferently.
Okay.
sorry. No,
that's good.
Go on.
What do you think of the fantastic new Nintendo, Mr. Xaverius?
Yeah.
It's a PSP with removable controls.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Did you like the PSP, so is that a good thing?
I'm indifferent. Nintendo was never in my sphere of, interest, because it never tried to compete with PC.
But that's exactly what doesn't make me interested in the other consoles, because I already have a PC, so why would I need the other PC wannabe consoles?
But Artrix, what if Nintendo just released all their first-party games on the PC?
Then I would just get them on the PC, obviously. And that's the problem with Nintendo in the goddamn walled off garden shit.
They are special.
They are special. They're Nintendo. But then that could be said about any gaming franchise. Like if just imagine the Order 1886 being released on PC, where you can just crank up the settings to maximum.
It would be severely less cinematic.
But you can't.
So it would compete with all the pre-installed screensavers.
Well, the certainly one is really cool. I don't know how it could compete against that.
You can't. You can't just put a console shooter on a PC, right? If you do that, you get all these PC gamers and they play it and like, this was super easy. Why was this game so easy? I'm confused.
It is true. Some multiplayer games are balanced differently on console and PC.
Even the single-player campaigns. Because on PC they assume that you're going to be able to shoot at the enemies and hit them. On console, they don't presume this.
They track their movement.
I remember I played the first Rainbow Six on the Xbox, which was very much programmed in the style of the original Rainbow Six, which meant you walk into a room and you get shot. On a PC, you could sometimes survive these situations on a rare occasion, because yes, the AI was brutal, and if they saw you, they shot you. On a console, you would walk into that same room and you would notice the enemy, and halfway to aiming towards them, you would be shot 27 times. So you really had to really up your game when playing Rainbow Six on the console. You had to use flashbangs constantly. You could never walk into a room, ever, because you would just die.
But that's not what I like to do, dying in my video games.
But that is the point. That is why PC games and console games have to be developed with a different mindset. You can't have laser accurate AIs on a console game, because
because you are controlling it with an equivalent of a potato.
I honestly never liked playing FPS games on a console. I tried it several times for now, and the only game that kind of makes it playable is Splatoon, but that's only because you can use gyro controls, which is incidentally very much like using keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just
I'm
much
pretty
quicker.
sure. I'm pretty sure you tried it during Artrix Con when I actually brought this thing.
No, I used sticks.
Oh, you only use sticks.
Yeah, I didn't even try to get into gyro controls.
You use sticks like a Chinaman.
Also, Splatoon had some really weird control acceleration going on. It felt like the strangest FPS or strangest shooter I've ever played. It took quite a while to get used to it, like a good hour.
But to be fair, you did become quite unstoppable once you got a hang of the controls.
Yes, and I was still having trouble with them at that point.
But at least I felt like I was getting a challenge.
It's like one of those games that had inverted mouse controls and that couldn't be changed.
Yep.
Actually, you
God.
can change them.
Yeah, but
Actually,
he said
you can even invert mod access.
back. He
Back,
said it's.
I know you are very hurt that I attacked your favorite waifu game, but I said if.
Yeah, I remember playing the first GoldenEye was like that.
Yeah.
An inverted control, or no, it was inverted by default, and because of GoldenEye and Time Splitters, I have never played a console game without inverted controls.
So it was GoldenEye.
At the end of the day, I think my conclusion for all this, and I have to go soon, I'm going to leave it at this. They have the third parties. They have their first party games. As the icing on the cake, they would release a grand library of virtual console games. They have the ingredients. I love their take on this idea. I like their angle on this concept. This is bound to be successful. It is promising, and the only thing that Nintendo has to do is deliver. Deliver those games. That's the only thing that they have to do. They have a golden opportunity. Don't mess this up, because this is bound to be great.
Unlike usual, when they never deliver those games.
If it really delivers, and if it really has a good library of games, especially during launch, I will buy this thing from day one, and I think I will be enjoying this thing for years and years to come.
But you're missing the most important thing, Velvet.
Even if it costs a couple of extra dollars, I wouldn't mind. This is a nice console that I would like to have aside my PS4 and my PC.
They called the controllers Joy-Cons.
Oh god!
I wouldn't, for example, have a PS4 and an Xbox One. No, I wouldn't do that, or I wouldn't buy that. But really, if it succeeds to deliver these games, third party, first party, virtual console, then really it's on the go. So that's another plus. The concept is just bloody brilliant. If they really deliver, I'm gonna buy this from day one.
Oh my god, on the go. It's like an old book with less
my
accuracy.
faith has been restored.
I don't agree with you that the concept is bloody brilliant.
It is. I love your angle on this idea.
I think they're
plug and play is really easy to use. It's user friendly, and I think it's. Yeah.
I think the very idea of having a handheld that is also a console is a kind of compromise between two systems that can't be compromised between.
It definitely is, but it's useful.
You're taking a system that's in a marketplace where they have to struggle to be just powerful enough to eke out their competitors, and then you're crippling its ability to do that by also making it a handheld. Which
that's actually very bold because they're competing with the handheld market as well. And for example,
not competing with the handheld market. Nintendo are the handheld market. They've got no competition. I would prefer a 3DS
not going to
too.
be a next 3DS or a next Nintendo handheld. You know that,
Actually,
right?
there might be a next 3DS if the Switch
The next
drops. They're gonna
PlayStation
be a
Vita is
4DS.
also bound to fail, man. The next PlayStation Vita and the next 3DS are bound to fail. But as this is a hybrid, so you can take your games that you have on the go back home and you can plug it on to the TV and play further on the couch.
Straight up, I think Nintendo should
That
just
way-
drop the
that
home
way they
console
don't have to
market
fear the
and
handheld
just
market.
make a dedicated handheld. And they could even add a graphics out to their dedicated handheld that could plug into your TV.
Yeah, the thing is,
It's almost if they did exactly this with this console.
No, they didn't. It's too big.
you know, the thing is that nothing from what was said. You mean take it with you and then plug it into your TV. Nothing of that are things that you cannot do with a laptop.
That's true as well.
But the dark days of the Wii U and the Wii are finally back. They're gone. They're finally gone. This is like a whole new era that's starting with a new concept and with this new Nintendo console. This really is a revolution in gaming. This is redefining video gaming, as Ubisoft put it very beautifully.
I think you went too far. You just went too far.
This is like the total Uber console.
He's very excited, as you can hear.
I'm just seeing there's a giant tub of Kool-Aid with Nintendo written on the back of it, and Knightley's just swigging the whole damn thing.
Yeah. The real question of tonight, guys, is: do you even switch?
Very blend.
Like, bruh, do you even switch, bruh?
No,
Do you? Why not?
because I have a PC.
I already have a Switch. It's right behind my. Let's see. There's a box with some discarded paper and trash cans. So. Oh, and there's also some Ethernet cables going into it. So yeah, I got the
No,
Switch.
you didn't. You just took a saw and you sawed the sides, the control parts of your Wii Pad or Wii controller, Wii U controller thingy, Wii Pad, whatever it's called. You just sawed that off and reattached it, and now you're pretending you have a.
But then I won't have any internet. I won't have internet in my office. I can't have that. How else am I going to stream?
Those who are about to game salute you guys. I think I hear the flagship coming, and I think I'm gonna hop on.
You go do
that. Bon voyage.
It was nice having you on Nightly / Velvetblue and
lovely to have joined you guys.
all right, take care.
It was great.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Bye.
Well, that happened.
I still don't get why people like it so much.
Well, I don't know yet. This console isn't even out yet.
That's the thing.
For all we know, they actually did something really clever and it works really well. We have to wait and see.
Actually,
I'm very skeptical about it.
Work really well.
So I'm very skeptical about it, especially considering.
Since I haven't seen anything about it except for the trailer without sound. When you plug it in, does it actually have contact, or is it wireless while plug it into the thing?
All the controls are wireless. I do reckon that the Joy-Cons have some sort of connector to the main console, so they keep power.
Even when you are having it plugged into the box itself.
I suppose.
If I understand you correctly.
I'm pretty sure that the handheld part does have some connector to the docking station.
Yes, that's the docking station. But if you take the thing and take the left control and put it on the thing, and take the right control and put it on the thing, Artrix is wireless.
I suppose.
It's a waste.
Why? I mean, they still, if they're connected to the handheld part, right? So you've got the two Joy-Cons.
Yes, if you are connecting into the handheld part, effectively creating an actual PSP, you don't need it to be wireless.
True, there probably are contacts all over the damn thing.
Yeah, I do hope so.
And
Well,
they're probably
they
gonna
do-
get full of gunk.
Also true.
And also the biggest, the funniest thing that's going to happen with that machine, and at first it'll be fine. You'll be using your two little handles. You're looking at your screen. You're playing with your pad, and everything's fine. It feels solid. It's good. But over time, as the plastic shifts and bends, and you get little microfractures in it, those controllers are going to start moving a little bit, and the whole thing is going to start rattling in your hands. It's going to feel like it's all clicky and weird, and it's just going to wear out.
It all depends on how they actually go about doing that. But yeah, that too is a concern of me. Like, you have to take into account that there's going to be a lot of wear and tear, and if they didn't research this properly, that could end up being really shitty.
It's a physical inevitability. That happens to everything that has moving parts like that. It happens to car doors. It happens to your microwave. It happens to slide phones. It happens to
your
USB
mouse.
cheese.
Yes. I can honestly not think of a single piece of equipment with moving parts on it that doesn't.
I mean, what Panboy said is pretty much the thing that's behind the death of the mouse buttons.
Mm-hmm.
You're just wearing out the plastic until it doesn't click anymore.
Yeah, it happens with everything. Then it's a concern about how quickly it's going to happen when the parts are so, flexible and removable. And it also comes down to
constantly being
stress.
exposed to constantly being exposed to friction.
Yeah,
Just sliding in, sliding out, sliding in, sliding out.
And not even that, but just holding it. Just holding it is going to put pressure on the joints. And if you are one of those vigorous gamers who moves around constantly while playing games and wiggles their controller like it's a giant steering wheel.
I do wonder how long is it before the connection itself starts being wonky.
Well,
if they like have just slide-ins, then it's going to pose a problem. If they have a magnet, or at least, or I don't know, some kind of lock on it.
I think the controllers communicate with the console wirelessly, even when they're attached to the main unit.
Yeah, we already went through that. I am concerned about the fact they are not going to hold there after some time. Just slide it in, and it slides all the way through.
Yes. Okay. I think. Oh, everyone cut out for a moment, but we're all back, I guess.
Are you being attacked?
Yes, I'm being attacked by Rosalina. She's out of my window now. She's like, "Why are you drawing me?" And I'm like, "Just because."
Or it might be the CIA.
Oh yeah, that too.
I could be playing Battlefield right now. Do you guys know that?
So why aren't you? It's not the first time you're playing Vidya while podcasting.
That's why I told you should give up on your modeling session.
I don't normally actually play video games through our entire recording sessions.
No, that's true. That's true.
I did it once or twice when I really wasn't really in the mood.
Well, if
actually focusing on this.
If it makes you feel any better, if it makes you feel any better, Astra's playing Vidya right now, so I guess he's
And you noticed how much contribution.
Oh yes, he's like a waterfall. Like he just keeps talking and
She always does that.
She's also not even in the chat room right now.
No, so might as well not have mentioned her because she was practically not there. Also, secondly, there's not really much of a need to comment because I think we're actually kind of running out of time. We've been going for a solid 1.5 hours now.
Are we just begun?
All we did was argue about how bad NX is going to be.
Exactly.
Well, then it's gonna be the NX episode.
It's basically just the NX episode. That's what I'm gonna call it. Even though we know
just like every podcast on the internet, we are talking about the NX.
Yes, we're going to be very original. I might even just change the title to 3 things you might not know about the NX. Click here to find out.
Yes.
That would be a misleading title. Totally good.
Because there's no 3 things. There's a whole bunch.
Yes, it's a very misleading title. I would argue for a title that it's going to be more like NX might disintegrate in your hands.
Click here to find out.
Yes.
But
you won't believe number 11.
You won't believe what happens next in the NX.
Better.
God.
I have a feeling the code name NX was supposed to be a play on the word next.
Yes, then that's why I thought it's going to be a viralness.
I honestly still like the name NX.
It's a next NES.
People always like the code names because they're code names. They got a mystery to them. It's like everyone's like, "What is it? What's it going to be?" And then you associate the name with the like air of mystery.
I know that it's revealed.
It all becomes more interesting.
Yeah.
Like I still have my dolphin here.
What was and I've still got my Project Cafe. It's still in my living room, being all Project Cafe, making delicious
called cafe.
Yeah. Project Cafe. The project part is very important.
Yes.
Okay, that's a terrible code name.
I don't know why they would name it that. I have to admit that I like Dolphin more. And wasn't the code name for? Oh wait, that was Dolphin for the Wii. That was code name.
No, for the Wii it was Revolution, Nintendo Revolution.
Yeah, that's the Dolphin things for the GameCube. Yes.
What was it? The N64? No, it's GameCube.
No, the 64.
Yeah, that it's reflected in the part naming because for the N64 it's Revolution RVL, for Dream the GameCube it was CGN for some reason, or DOL, I don't know. And for the Wii U it was UVL or something like that.
I have a bunch of code names right next to me. So
anyways, it's all.
I know only Ivy Bridge and Kepler.
It's all a bunch of spurgy nerd shit, so no one cares anyway.
Oh, people care. The spurgiest of nerds care. And we are the spurgiest of nerds.
But they can just watch their gaming channels, of which there are like a trillion. We're not a gaming channel. We're just a podcast that talk about all sorts of things.
You say that while drawing Rosalina, an entire podcast where we just argued about the NX.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's a character.
Also,
so
it's a console. It's hardly gaming, Panboy.
Good point.
Well,
what can you even do on consoles these days?
Well, you can watch Netflix on consoles.
It's true.
Apparently, there's a new Red Dead
the Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
Thing.
Rougemont Redemption.
And bonjour, bienvenue du Texas. And you're like, since when Texas is French? Okay.
It's not coming out on PC.
Of course not.
But then the Sony place is like, but it's effectively coming on PC because you can plug PS4 into the TV.
Right.
Not TV, computer monitor.
Yeah, that's fucking retarded, and they know it.
Also, I think they have service where you can use what is it called, PS4 Now, on PC. But of course, only for the games that are compatible. So no.
I still find it funny that there's companies out there who are trying to sell the notion of remote streaming video games.
Yeah.
Whereas you pay for a service, and they run the game on their big server farm, and then you get a video feed from them, just like Picarto, and then you're like, wait, how much delay is on this? I pressed button, then my guy shoots.
6,000 years later.
Top kick.
And this is what people do by taking PC and streaming into the PSP when they have to take a shit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but even on a local network you get lag. Could you imagine if you were doing it over a remote network from some server farm in Texas?
It's going to be a very long shit.
Anyways, there's two things I want to touch up on before we end today's episode. The first one is that we actually got a complaint. And it's from the weirdest place.
Is it from me?
No, it's, well, you complain about everything all the time, so that doesn't even count.
That's just why I expected it from me.
Yeah, so that makes it, so now you have to go and complain about that I'm bringing up a complaint that isn't yours. Go ahead, 1-3, go.
No.
Oh, okay, okay. So anyway, of all places, it's from some flock droll board that it was on, and somehow we started talking about Radio Rothingham, and the guy was like, "It's a great podcast, but it's missing one thing." And then I got the biggest shock ever because it was like, "There's not enough diversity," and I was like, "Why? Is it because you don't have any blacks on the podcast? Is it because there's no Latinos? What is it? How can we make it better?" It's like, there's not enough Americans on it. Oh.
Wow.
So apparently Radio Rothingham is too American-centric. I mean European-centric. So the obvious solution is to kidnap our token American and have him on.
The problem with Americans is that the only one we know is hiding in the woods half of the time.
Yeah, Didn't I hear Trigon was alive again?
Yeah, he is alive again. So we obviously need to kidnap him and just force him to be on the podcast to undo this grave injustice.
It's like 24/7 stream of America.
That's not a real complaint, Artrix. I don't consider diversity complaints to be worth merit.
That was also obviously a joke, so good job.
Are you sure?
It was obvious from the moment he said it's a good podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I find it hard to believe that you've ever met anyone on the internet ever who's listened to a podcast episode.
Secondly, it's tomorrow, so that's probably by the time, so that's probably by the time you're listening to this, is going to be the yearly annual, those are the same thing, request-a-thon.
Oh, in other words, you missed it.
No, because it's going to be on Saturday and Sunday. So you have 2 whole fucking days to come in.
You are drawing 24 hours.
You're going to be drawing terrible shit that people request for 2 days straight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Without sleep, without food.
No,
other body things.
As a matter of fact, I'll be taking a break on Sunday because my parents are coming over for a visit, but it's not going to take the whole goddamn day. But yeah, request-a-thon. This weekend, be there and get mad discounts on commissions and get your shit done for free.
Just remember, Artrix, if you want people to know you're doing this, you need to do all the social medias before.
I did. I've been announcing it for a week.
I'm sure you have. But you better get reminders out there on your DeviantArts and on your Tumblrs and on your Twitters and on your Instagrams and your Pinterests and your Facebooks and your...
I'll make sure that I'll even post on my MySpace. I'm
and
sure
your
there's
Bebo and your MySpace.
my life journal.
Don't forget GeoCities.
And yeah, GeoCities, can't forget GeoCities. Remember
GeoCities
to check
and
our website,
my-
artrix.geocities.yahoo.net.com.co.uk.eu.7.
yes, all of those. So yeah, .com. It's gonna be great. It's gonna have all the art, and then you'll be rich.
It's gonna be amazing.
No,
Okay.
I need
Back-
to register that domain name.
Beck's already, running wild with ideas of what's going to request. He's like, oh my god.
I'm
Go
going
to-
to make him draw a picture.
Yes, it's gonna be fucking awesome! Anyways, let's see if the program is going to crash this time around. I think it does because I don't see it anywhere. I told it
Sure.
like 7 hours ago to run. It didn't.
Your programs are very good. You're good at computer.
Mm-hmm. You're a good computer.
Yeah,
guy.
it's telling me it's already running, but it's not. So yeah, it's a piece of shit program. In other words, it's doing an excellent job of crashing all the time.
Have you ever considered attempting to use a different application?
But that different application probably not crash all the time. Then it's not the most terrible application anymore.
It's not useful. It works. You can have things that work.
Exactly. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, and everything. And yeah, make Requestathon. Bye.